Martin Luther King Jr.
What'd he do?
He died for his sins.
No, that was...
This is light work. Come on, spill the tea, yeah.
Okay, where is this car that's reflecting on this Boston Pizza window? It's a Corvette C8. I seriously don't see that car anywhere. Where's that car? What? Where is that car? Hello, where's that car?
I don't see it either.
Where is this car?
Okay, but why does my BF's dog look like a skinwalker?
You looking like, what the fuck did you just say, Kyle?
America's largest city is bracing for an invasion of unwanted eight-legged visitors this summer. Look at these guys. They're large yellow and black critters. They're called jaw.
I know one thing. Keeps it handy at all times.
Jaw spiders. They're originally from Asia, but since 2010, they've been spotted in nearly a dozen states between Florida and Ohio. They're expected to arrive soon in the New York area. They fly on the wind by shooting silk threads into the air, and get this, they have 4-inch long legs. And while they're venomous, experts say these jaw spiders are not dangerous to people or pets.
Whether you love them or hate them, stick around, you're going to want to watch this videos. You know I like to draw some comparisons and speculate that certain people might be other people, and this one's no different. And you might not even know who Jen Psaki is, but let me tell you, she served as a political advisor for both the Obama and the Biden administration. And do you notice any sort of resemblance? Now, you might not see it at first, and I'm not saying they're the same person. I'm just showing you and letting you make up your mind based on the evidence.
Now basically he's just trying to say she's looking like a man? How disrespectful is that?
But I do have a theory on what is going on here. A theory that some of you probably aren't ready for. But he's going to tell you right in plain sight, potentially what's happening. Now just listen.
Be having this conversation in the future, and one of us could just be a hologram sitting here and having a normal kind of full interaction, feeling like we're physically there with each other, and be having this conversation in the future, and one of us could just be a hologram sitting here and having a normal kind of full interaction, feeling like we're physically there with each other. And I think that's...
Now, whether you realize it or not, the powers that be have technology that we can't even comprehend, and it's not dozens of years advanced or even hundreds. In my opinion, it's thousands, because it's fallen angel technology. And I want to just give you a little glimpse of what I'm talking about based on his video. Now, I like to do a thorough job with these, so I look for anomalies. And Psaki, she's got a little dot on her hand, so I was investigating for his dot, but instead what I found is some very strange...
I don't know, he got a point. They do kind of resemble like they can be siblings or something. Let me know in the comments what y'all think.
Shadowing and lighting with moving with his hand, kind of like the hand he's showing is a projection or a hologram. Like I said, I'm not making any claims here. I'm just showing you some evidence, and you decide. Same person in the costume, holograms, clones,
Hey,
up to you.
and I don't want to hear no talk in the comments talking about you think all white people look alike. Hey, this ain't even that type of party.
You know why we dream? There are many theories why we dream, but one in particular is going to blow your mind. Okay, so one-irology is the scientific study of dreams, and apparently what they found is that dreams actually help to train our fight or flight instincts. Apparently our brain uses the subconscious state of dreaming as a sort of training module to better train our survival instincts. So when you have one of these dreams like you're falling or that you're being chased, this is your brain's way of preparing you for if this ever actually happens in real life. The details of our dreams can also have meanings. Let me tell you about this dream interpretation app called Dream App. You tell the Dream App your dream, and then a dream expert along with AI come up with an interpretation for your dream. And because they have over 1,000 themes in their database, this can really help you to uncover the true meaning behind your dreams. There's even an option to turn your dreams into a video that you can play back and make sure that you won't forget them.
That app kind of cool and all, but I'm kind of hesitant to just throw my dreams in there only for them to feed me BS. But I do think it's remarkable what the mind can do.
More revelation gems, a cool pattern in the trumpets, a really easy way to understand the book, and a cool code in understanding Yahweh. How what he did on the days of creation ties into things in the trumpets and the bowls. The key to understanding the entire book of Revelation is the scroll. Referenced in chapter 5, verse 4, there's a mysterious scroll that there's only one person worthy to open. Once this scroll starts being popped open, which is held down by 7 seals, which you can imagine unrolling like a spiral helix Walter Russell DNA table, as one series of event unrolls and leads to the next, from the seals to the trumpets to the bowls. Three sets of 7, all based on the pattern of creation, with a final capstone at the end making it 22 to resemble the completion of the Hebrew alphabet, Aleph to Tav, which Psalm 19 is also laid out in the same way, Aleph to Tav, which there's a cool tie-in, Yeshua's last song plug, on my page. Also interesting in the language of unrolling the scroll is how the firmament is described to unroll like a scroll at the end times in the book of Revelation. Quick pattern in the trumpets. All the trumpets are based on thirds, which we'll come back to in a second. There's a really cool pattern in code. If you look at the 4th day of creation, what God made, the sun, the moon, and the stars. Then if you also look at the 4th trumpet, and even the 4th bowl, you'll see how those 2 judgments also have to do with what he did on the 4th day of creation. They both involve the sun, moon, and stars, something happening. Does this pattern reflect anywhere else? It does, but only once, on the number 6. On the 6th day of creation, God made mankind, and you'll see on the 6th trumpet and the 6th bowl, how both of those judgments have to do with mankind. So why is it only those 2 that match this pattern? Many layers of code, especially the closer you get to the Holy Spirit. But it's possible that they both reflect each other. The story of the sun, moon, and stars reflect the story of mankind. This is even referenced in Genesis in the Bible through Jacob's dream, other places in the Word, and in the story of the Mazzaroth in general, which you can also find on my page, Esoteric Secrets playlist. As you can see in this chart of the trumpets which angels blow, which are really shofars by the way, they all have to do with a third, except for the 5th one. Why? Well, for one, the 3rd is also a reference to the fallen angels. A third of the stars were swept out of the sky by the tail of the dragon, which is ironic because this 1/3 percentage, 33.3, 33-degree Mason, the remainder of that left would be 0.666, 666, the mark of the beast. Funny how all of these numbers tie in. So why not the 3rd on trumpet 5? Well, I'm speculating it's because a whole 1/3 of these fallen angels are released. Look at what happens on the 5th trumpet. It's the bottomless pit army being released, which I've covered on my page before. And what do they do as soon as they're released? They torment humanity. Thanks for freeing us, bro. This is immediately followed by 4 fallen angels being released from underneath the Euphrates River, with a 200 million man army with lion-headed horsemen, with serpent tails with faces that strike. Sounds like a very specific type of dragon. One more quick cool gem, then I'm out. On the 6th trumpet, you'll see a third of humanity perish. Before, on the 4th seal, you'll notice 25% have perished. So if you do the math, that's about 58%, which is over half, about 4 billion, just between those 2 judgments alone. So with the other 42% or so left, most of them don't repent. They're still worshiping demons and idols, sorcery, sexual immorality, murders, stealing, Sounds like a super witchcraft, Mad Max, Book of Eli type of environment. Or some places that survive might be some sort of sophisticated breakaway civilizations, like places in Dubai, Neom, or a sophisticated Sodom and Gomorrah-like Aldous Huxley New World, Brave New World type of environment. Or elite underground bunkers, which they'll definitely be begging on them to collapse later. Anyway, eternal precepts are never in need of change. Unlike culture that always swears at the precipice of intelligence, an intellect that is always changing. Truth never changes, and the truth will set you free. See you next time.
Definitely something.
If your leg is cut off, you could still have the urge to scratch an itch even though there's nothing there. This sensation is called phantom limb, and some people even experience severe pain on their non-existent limb.
Hey, I don't know about y'all, and look, please forgive me, but if I'm walking out in public and I see somebody start scratching the air, I'll probably start laughing. But it's all in good spirit.
Now, unfortunately, most amputees experience this strange phenomenon, and with no limb to itch or treat, these amputees are left with no good way to remedy the situation. Why doesn't a cast saw hurt the skin underneath the cast? Well, you might think the doctor is just extra careful during this process, but the answer actually lies within the saw. You see, this saw doesn't spin, it actually vibrates, and these vibrations are able to cut through hard materials, like the plaster in a cast. But when it comes to softer, more elastic materials, like skin, the small teeth of the blade can't get a grip while it's vibrating. Instead, it sort of just pushes the skin back and forth.
Man, I would have played kickball with that.
These are the strangest last meals ever requested by prisoners on death row. In 1963, convicted murderer Victor Feguer requested only a single olive with the pit still inside. The pit was found inside his pocket after he died. Found guilty of double murder, Gerald Lee Mitchell requested a bag of assorted Jolly Ranchers before his lethal injection. Wrongfully executed disabled man Joe Arity requested for a bowl of ice cream to be put in the refrigerator so he could save it for later, unaware of what it meant to be executed. Texas killer James Edward Smith requested a lump of dirt for his last meal. The prison officials denied his request and instead gave him a cup of yogurt. Instead of a meal for himself, convicted murderer Philip Workman wanted a pizza to be donated to a local homeless person. His final request was denied, and Workman refused to eat anything that night. But the next day, homeless shelters across Tennessee received thousands of pizzas from people all over the state honoring Workman's last request.
I promise, you will never look at your dog the same once you figure out where they really came from. You ever heard of cynocephaly? If not, stick around. This story gets deep. The image you see in the background, this is a cynocephaly. This is a dog-hated tribe that lived in Indian mountains. The Doghead tribe lived deep inside of Indian mountains, but the only problem was they eat people and eat meat. So every time they would come out of the mountains, the Indian people will go to war with them. The Doghead tribe made a deal with the Indian people. The Doghead tribe gave people dogs for protection, and the Indian people gave the dogs humans so they don't got to come out of their mountains no more. The Doghead tribe still exists today, but the only problem is no one see them because they are deep inside of the mountains. Only time they get to leave the mountains is at nighttime when everyone in the village is asleep. So every time you see a dog, just know they came from a real dog-headed tribe that look just like us. They just got dog heads. This dog-head tribe is connected directly to Anubis, the dog-head Egyptian god. Cynocephaly dog-head tribes comes directly from Sirius, Canis Major, the dog star. You can find this knowledge in all spiritual texts, religion texts. They was all speaking about a dog-headed tribe, but it got real deep once people started selling other people to this dog tribe just for regular dogs. If you notice, there are still certain countries around the world that actually eat dogs. This is not just an India story. The Doghead tribe is linked to Africa as well. So the Doghead tribe exists right now, today, in Africa and India. But next time you look at your dog, just remember they came from a Doghead tribe that live in Africa and India. They gave us dogs for protection, and we gave them people for food.
Not the Doghead tribe. I'm already scared of dogs, and he's saying they got tribes with people that look like humans with dog heads?
About in school?
Martin Luther King Jr.
Martin Luther King Jr. What'd he do?
He died for sins.
No, that was...
Now, Martin Luther King Jr. is turned over in his grave right now. Hey, at least she knew his name. But come on now, y'all gotta do better. But she does look like she's 3, so I give her a pass. Not the headless horseman in here. Hey, one of y'all that's watching this, come get your uncle.
You wouldn't believe me if I told you some of these churches are just hustling you.
If I want to believe God for a $65 million plane, you cannot stop me. You cannot stop me from dreaming. Right, get in a long tube with a bunch of demons. Right, that's exactly. And it's deadly.
You said that you don't like the fly commercial because you don't want to get into a tube with a bunch of demons.
You just said that.
Do you really believe that human beings are demons?
No, I do not. And don't you ever say I did.
You said
that. You know, I've owned 3 different jets in my life, and I used them and just...
Hold up now. Do he got his jets up there framed on the wall? Like they're a part of the family?
Burning them up for the Lord Jesus Christ. I really believe that if Jesus was physically on the earth today, he wouldn't be riding a donkey.
Be careful who you give your money to, Jesus.
One of my chandeliers cost more people's house. I got the Liz in the house.
Flexing on your congregation is wild.
We wrestle not with flesh and blood, but principalities and powers.
Why do you need a $54 million private jet?
We're not doing any kind of interviews right now. The second one I purchased was in January.
Oh, them is his jets. And he over here stunting too like he a rapper.
2004.
Practice dispelling or banishing negative thought forms, because your thoughts turn into feelings and your feelings turn into actions. So therefore, the more you are able to navigate your mental realm and dispel negative thoughts, so those thoughts don't turn into feelings, and so those feelings don't turn into actions, because actions sets up the attraction for you to start attracting things that you are thinking about, feeling about, and acting about, whether that might be good or bad. So practice dispelling negative thoughts. Whenever you get a negative thought in your brain, practice saying, I banish this thought. I dispel this thought. I do not agree with this thought.
Hey, I do agree with him, because you know, keeping negative thoughts is going to attract negative energy. Try to think positive. Anything negative come, try to turn around to a positive. You'll have a better day.
Repeat that in your brain over and over and over, so you don't feel like acting out that thought. Simple as that. This is how you get better with mental navigation and navigating towards a better aligned vibrational frequency. I appreciate y'all for watching this whole.
Let's talk about spirit spouses. I don't hear a lot of spiritual people talking about this. Mostly religious people talk about this. But coming from a spiritual person, this is a very real thing. Spirit spouses are entity attachments to you, usually demonic, and it prohibits you from finding your true soulmate or divine counterpart. These spirit spouses can be, like I said, demonic, or sometimes it can be as powerful as a fallen angel. The reason why spirit spouses attach to you is because you have energy that they want. There's something about your DNA, the composition that makes up you, your energy, your essence, that is like ambrosia to them, like the most delicious meal they've ever had. And they attach to mostly your sacral chakra, which is responsible for sexuality, and they feed off of you that way. As the name suggests, it's a spouse, but in the spirit realm. If you are not spiritually aware, you will have no idea that they have been haunting you your entire life. Here are some signs that you may have a spirit spouse attachment. You will meet multiple soulmates, but none of these soulmates work out long term. Or when these said soulmates are about to propose to you, or you're about to deepen the connection, they somehow coincidentally get into a huge accident. Maybe they suddenly die. Maybe they have to travel somewhere and it becomes long distance. There's a lot of obstacles that are going to be put in place in front of you and this soulmate. Expect the obstacles to heighten and increase tenfold. This soulmate of yours is a potential divine counterpart. This spirit spouse attachment does not want you to have a divine soulmate or divine counterpart, because that means now your energy is being shared with another. They can no longer feed off of you. You have divine protection from another divine being. Another sign of a spirit spouse attachment is that your whole life, all you've attracted is sociopaths, narcissists, psychopaths. And I emphasize on the narcissist. No matter how much healing you do, no matter how much discernment you feel like you have, somehow the universe always puts you with these narcissists. It's not your fault. You need to stop self-blaming. If you have done everything you can, you have studied narcissists in and out, but yet you always fall for the same game over and over again. Consider looking into if you have a spirit spouse. How to get rid of a spirit spouse: you need to do a lot of shadow work and inner healing. A lot of these times, these spirit spouses are generational, meaning it attached to your ancestors somewhere along your genealogy. Do that ancestor and you a favor by stopping generational curses and patterns. Another way to get rid of a spirit spouse is to go to a spiritual healer, have them do a prayer over you, and they will break the cord between you and the spirit spouse. Now, if you have a powerful spirit spouse, like a fallen angel example would be Azazel. Then you need multiple rounds of prayer and shadow work. You would need to go to a spiritual healer many, many times. You would also need to activate your Christ consciousness, which is the consciousness of unconditional love, acceptance, and free flow. And in that way, you can also release that spirit spouse.
I want to talk about something kind of interesting. Really interesting, actually. I don't know if you've heard about it or believe in it, but there's a lot of talk about the transformation that we're having from the 3D reality to 5D. And we all know that plants are conscious and that they can talk to one another. You know, trees, if there is a certain species of bug that's...
How y'all feel about that, man? Have y'all been feeling any kind of way? Feeling different these past couple years? Do y'all believe in the transformation? I don't know. Leave a comment. Let me know.
plaguing them, they can talk to other trees, and trees will emit an odor to keep the bugs away from them. Like plants are conscious, they are living, they are growing, and the earth is too. And like any living thing, it goes through stages. It learns and it grows. Now, when the Mayan calendar ended, everybody predicted it would be the end of the world, and they were terrified. I don't think that it was supposed to signal the end of the world, but rather the end of an era, one where strength determined the winner. And we were brutal, and war ruled everything. I think now we're moving into a more gentle, compassionate, understanding society. And as this earth splits, we're supposed to be living on two separate timelines, 3D and 5D. And there's supposed to be a lot of us that came here from the spiritual realm that are supposed to help usher this in and help everybody transition. You know, have you heard of light workers, star seeds? Well, the split has supposedly started happening already. And I think I can feel it. I mean, my life is definitely changing for the better. I'm maturing at a much faster rate. The world is spinning much faster for me. And I think how we do this is we create our own 5D existence of love and joy and surrender. And then we keep dipping back into this 3D and trying to pull other people to our side. You know, we're finding each other. And when humans find each other and organize, amazing things happen. So I think how the transformation is going to go is we're going to connect. And society is going to start to rebuild this parallel reality. And when people see how wonderful it is, more and more people are going to be drawn to it, and we're going to eventually usher in a brand new dawn. What do you think? Do you know about this? You believe in it? Are you scared? Excited?
I told y'all. I literally told y'all there was something going on with these wells. I told y'all there's something going on within the water. And y'all just not have been listening. Only my true followers been listening, yo. Look at this shit. As soon as I open up Google, the first thing that John say, orcas are smashing up boats, and we finally figured out why. And y'all know they didn't figure out why. For years now, orcas have been ramming and sinking luxury yachts in the European waters. They saying it's a territory child's play thing. Y'all know that's cat. Y'all know that's cat. They keep thinking that these orcas is trying to play around and chase the boat and everything. Like, nah, bro. I'm like, yo, they're trying to warn us, yo. They're trying to tell us something. They're telling us something. They can literally talk to y'all niggas.
Bye bye.
Look at that shit. Hold on.
Amy. Amy. Hello.
Now that y'all know that they can imitate and talk back, y'all know they be trying to tell us. Them Jones just got washed up on a...
Hey, one thing that I be thinking is that we've been on animals on this earth together for a long time. And by now, we should know what they talking about or what they saying. Like, you telling me we still don't know what they saying? It's crazy. I don't believe it.
Beach the other day, man. It's time for us to wake up!
One of the biggest opportunities for startups, entrepreneurs, and creatives is just around the corner, and it all has to do with your voice. Let me explain. If you haven't been following along in the AI space, the use of voice to control apps and computers and devices is one of the strongest use cases. And if you've only used Siri, you're in for a shock. OpenAI and Google are about to release their latest voice models any minute now, and these are pretty exciting based on the demos we saw, from natural conversations, no pauses, handling multiple languages, complex tasks in noisy environments, and so much more. This is where the opportunity comes in. Once these voice model APIs come out, there's some amazing experience and apps that you can create that will definitely shake incumbents in the market. Here's 3 examples. Imagine a personalized fitness coach in your ear while you're working out that can access your vitals, give you motivation, tell you what your next workout is, even give you a clue on what you can improve on. All in the meantime, they're taking notes on each one of your workouts and giving you a post-workout summary. Imagine a voice assistant giving sales or support teams real-time feedback while they're on calls with prospects or customers, customers, and then tracking all of that in a CRM without you having to do anything. Imagine a voice-powered travel concierge that can help you book your dream vacation, go through a bunch of ideas that you have, and then actually go through and get all the details arranged for you, but also be there with you while you're on vacation to help make changes in real time. Next week, we should see Apple announce a revamped Siri that's powered by Gemini or ChatGPT. And from there, that's a really important game changer because millions and millions of people will then start to use voice UI and become comfortable with that kind of UI pattern, which opens up all the opportunities we just talked about.
Check this out, y'all. People are already starting to live in these underground bunkers with rent at only $1,000 a month, y'all. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. I might get rid of my house and start to go live underground for only $1,000 a month. Check this out.
We're sitting in the middle of Exploit, the largest survival community in the world, with 575 bunkers.
So that said you gotta pay $55,000 plus $1,000 a month. I'm cool.
Spread over 18 square miles of land. Effectively, we're building a city. It's 3/4 the size of Manhattan. The plan is that these bunkers are designed, A, to withstand just about any threat, but B, once that last door is closed and sealed, you can stay in here for a year. I'm head of a company called Vivos. What Vivos is a international network of underground shelters built to survive virtually anything but a direct asteroid hit or perhaps a direct nuclear bomb. We have a fully completed turnkey bunker in Indiana that was completed in 2012. We have another facility in Germany that was built by the Soviet Union during the Cold War. So we're converting that into the largest single roof shelter in the world. We have other bunkers across the United States that we don't talk about. And the reason is the less people know, the easier it is to